Hello my friends, hello my besties, welcome back to my channel. My name's Alexis and today we're doing a big book haul. The way I do my book hauls is that every time I get a new book, I put it on my TV stand, and when that stack eventually touches the TV, I take them all down and we do a little haul. So, this is our April/May book haul video. Before I get started, I'm cracking this open. I've been obsessed with these. They're called Bubblers. I don't know if y'all have seen them, but they are very similar to like Olipop or Poppy, and they're genuinely really good. I'm so picky about like flavored seltzer water type stuff, but this, delicious, and I will be sipping it throughout the video. It also has caffeine in it, which is part of why I'm consuming one. Current flavor is this peach raspberry flavor. Not sponsored. Wish it was. Just a genuine recommendation if you're looking for something very fun to sip this summer. These are so good. These books, I'm not going to go in a very specific order. I'll tell you a little bit about them, how I acquired them, and that sort of stuff. So let's just get straight into it. The first book for my haul is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Now this I actually thrifted. I was at the thrift store with my mom and sister, and I actually found this for $2 and I had to snatch it up. It is one of Abby Jimenez's books I have not read but also didn't own, and I've been really wanting to read it. One of my longtime favorite booktubers, Riley Marie, recently read this, and the way she was talking about it made me so freaking excited. So I was like, this is perfect timing because I think I'm gonna add this to like my May or June TBR because it sounds phenomenal. And every time Riley Marie was talking about it in her last video, the more I was like, I want to drop everything and pick this book up right now, and I'm so excited that I got a copy for $2. It is the Book of the Month edition, which is no biggie. Both are both doctors, and there's also a fake dating, only one bed element, which is my favorite. I am a sucker for both of those tropes. Fake dating and only one bed. I'm down bad. Like if you want to send me a book, if someone were to be like, you know what, I want to send her a book for whatever reason, oh my gosh, thank you, I guess. I'm a mess and a half, but thank you. The literal thing that would get me to be like, give me that book right now in my hands this moment is fake dating and only one bed. Favorite tropes, hand down. I'm obsessed with them. So hearing that this book, which I knew about but didn't know what it was about, is so beloved and so good and has two of my favorite tropes, yes please. The next book is one that I personally bought off Pinko Books, and that is Heartless by Elsie Silver. I don't think I vlogged it, but for some reason my brain's like, yes you did, but I don't think I did. I recently read Flawless by Elsie Silver, and that was so cute. I gave it 4 stars. It was very fun. It was very quick. I really enjoyed it. So obviously I wanted to pick up the next book in the series. I got this one off Pinko Books, which is an online book selling platform, and I love them so much, and I'm so excited for this. I was going to start it like right when it showed up, but it's been a rough few weeks, okay? So I have not actually started it yet. It is the second book in Elsie Silver's Chestnut Springs series. It specifically says is a nanny times grumpy single dad romance, and obviously it is set in the same fictional universe as the first book, so it's like a very small town found family type vibe too. I'm really excited to continue with this series. Everyone has told me that this book and I think the 4th book are their favorites, so yay. Okay, this next book I have 2 copies, but let me explain. Let me explain, if I may. Fearless by Lauren Roberts. First of all, I did pre-order this edition, which is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I actually own the first 2 books in the matching Barnes & Noble exclusive editions. So when I was buying myself a copy, I realized, you know what, let me go ahead and get this edition, matches the rest of them. I don't even know if the Barnes & Noble editions are like my favorite, but I figured I could get the normal editions anytime, so I might as well have the Barnes & Noble ones now. This one has like red font and then green details. And then on the front it has this imprinted, and this copy actually came with a defect on the front page, which I think is fun. This corner is folded up, but when you unfold it, it's bigger than like the rest of the book is, so. Then Simon Teen kindly reached out and asked if I wanted a copy of the normal edition, and I said yes. I knew I had that one coming, but I'm so excited for this. I love this trilogy. I've not read this last book, so you know. We'll find out, I guess. I loved the first 2 books, and I like the novella a lot. So I've been very excited for this. It's gonna be one of my next reads, and I'm so thankful to have both editions on my shelf because they're so beautiful in different ways. Like, I love the pink on the standard edition, but the red font on this one is just absolutely beautiful, so. Hauled these both, and I will be reading them soon. I'm so excited. I mildly considered vlogging. We'll see. If that comes to fruition, we'll see, but regardless, this is definitely gonna be one of my next reads. I'm very, very excited to add these to my collection. I feel like I'm talking a little fast today. Right before this video, I had a coffee, went for a walk, and now I'm having more caffeine, so I think I'm just like I'm a little up here, and I need to take it down a little bit. Slow down. Let's talk about these books a little more in depth. Cheers. This next book is called After We Burned. I actually don't know what this is about, or I did at some point, but now it's like not in my brain. This says it comes out July 1st this year. The top line is she deserved more, they all did. I will say I recognize this author's name, but I just don't, and I recognize the other book that she's written, but it's not one that I've read. So the back of it says, a terrible accident, a horrible loss. a regrettable tragedy. That's all anyone in Phoenix can talk about when a fire consumes the local high school, taking the life of a student. The town mourns, except who really knew, let alone cared about Eden when she was alive, and why was she in the building that night? 5 teenagers each hold a piece of the truth about what happened. They also have their own secrets they will fight to protect with the same fury as the blaze that killed Eden. But silence is meant to be broken, and their story can't be extinguished. I didn't realize this was like murder mystery vibes. I thought it would sound dramatic. Look at this front page. I love that. And I have not been in like a thriller mystery murder mood at all recently, but for some reason I always get into a kick about it right in the summertime. Always. Right around like June, July, I'm always on my thriller kick, so I just know this is going to be so perfect, and I'm very excited to read it. So thank you so much, Sourcebooks, for sending this to me. Now that I've sat down and like refreshed my brain on what's about, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gagged. I'm so gagged. I'm so excited to read this. Oh my gosh, this next book I genuinely thought I would get to include in last time's haul, but it didn't get delivered to the right address. It's called On Love Rose Lane by Samantha Young. This book sounded really good. The author so kindly reached out to me and asked if I wanted a copy of the book, and I said, oh my gosh, yes, please, I would love that. I gave her my address because she was working through Valentine PR, who I adore. It accidentally got sent to my parents' address, my old address, so I was able to go back and get the ARC. It just was sitting for quite some time. This is also the special edition ARC. This is not the final cover. I'm gonna put the final cover right here because the final cover is like chef's kiss. Chef's freaking kiss beautiful. I remember, oh yes. Okay, her neighbor is a Scottish football player. It's second chance romance, and she is a social media manager. I wish. Can I have your job, girl? Please. This sounds so interesting. I'm very excited to read it. I also am obsessed with the feel of it. You know those books that have like the velvet feel? I love it. This ARC specifically has like that really nice velvet feel, and I love it. I'm very excited to read it, and I think once I read it, I probably will go back and get the new like finished copy version because I think the finished copy is gorgeous. After that, this one I'm so excited about, and that is Change of Heart by Fallon Ballard. So this is a story time. I recently went to Cincy for a book signing, which I had the best time at, and it was a little bittersweet. So, story time, story time. Back in February, I was gonna go down to this specific bookstore in Cincinnati and meet Fallon Ballard, the author of this book, an author I really adore. I've loved all of her books. However, my boyfriend had COVID and I was sick. And it wasn't with COVID. I was not with COVID, but I still didn't feel comfortable going to Cincy. On the off chance I did end up developing COVID and I was already sick, and it was crushing. Like, I was genuinely brokenhearted about the fact that I didn't get to go to this book signing. Flash forward to April, and I was at the exact same bookstore for a different signing, and I'm standing in line and I'm waiting to pick up my copy of the book because like there's a line system, and I look over and there's signed books next to me. Of course I'm gonna browse. You cannot blame a girl for browsing. And I realized they had signed copies of all of Fallon Ballard's books. So I got one. This is the book that she most recently released, the one the signing was for, so it's also the book I didn't own a copy of because I was gonna buy it at the signing I couldn't go to. So when I saw they had signed copies, I had to. With like $60 on my bank account, I had to. I was so excited. It felt like such a full circle moment of like things getting better that I got to still get a signed copy. And her pink signature is adorable. So, like I said, I love Fallon Ballard. All of her books are very short and quick, which is something I love about them. But this one, I love the premise. Tagline says, a workaholic must strive for the one goal she never wanted. Love. The plot of the book is that our main character, Campbell, one day wakes up and she has been magically transported to a small town straight out of a Hallmark Channel movie, and she's like grumpy about it. She's this overachieving, doesn't believe in love type gal. She gets dropped into this Hallmark town, and she can't leave until she experiences true love. This sounds like just so cute, and I'm very excited. I have genuinely adored all of Fallon Ballard's books. This is your sign. Take this. If you have not read Fallon Ballard's books, read them. They are so good. I just read her Christmas novella, or not novella, but I just read her Christmas novel last year, at the end of last year. I love her. I love her writing so much. So please take this as your sign. I am begging. Next up is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Very recently went to Half Price Books, sold a bunch of books, and then in turn bought my copy of Say You'll Remember Me. The book is gorgeous, and the synopsis is so difficult to summarize. Every time I read it and I try to think of how I could possibly summarize this book, my brain hurts. I feel that way about Just for the Summer too. If Just for the Summer I have not read this one. Love it to pieces, and I don't feel like I could summarize it to save my life. Truly, the concept is like convoluted, but like not in a derogatory way, because I feel like convoluted has a negative connotation, in a positive way. There's just so much happening, it's hard to explain it quickly. But obviously I've been excited for this one, and it's my book club's book pick of the month for May, so I need to read it before the May book club. The short of this book is that the main two characters meet and have like a lovely date together, and then they end up not talking for a long time, but then they're still hung up on each other and they can't forget each other, and you know, Say You'll Remember Me. Swiftie title. So I'm gonna like it, especially because Just for the Summer just meant so much to me. I loved it so much. I read that last summer, so I'm excited to have another Abby Jimenez book to read this summer. With another romance, I have Only Between Us by Ellie K. Wilde. Ellie K. Wilde has another book in this thing, I believe the same universe out, which I have on my TBR. I will put it right here. And I'm excited for it. This one, I'm actually even more excited for, low-key. So it's a football romance, but also it is dislike to lovers and fake dating, as we've talked about. I love fake dating. The male main character was an NFL star, and she is a fan favorite ex-girlfriend of the face of the NFL. When a chance meeting makes them go viral, making them look madly in love, the team takes notice, and so do all the businesses throwing money at the sponsorships. So they fake date because she needs money to keep her late father's shop afloat, and they're getting like all the publicity from going viral and seeming like they're in love. Sounds so cute. I'm also obsessed with this cover. It's gorgeous. This comes out in July, on July 8th. I'm very excited for it. I just need like a light reading summer. I need fun and like mystery thriller vibes. Like I don't need like sad books. I don't need like heavy fantasy books. I need just like gripping and fun or romantic stories, and I just know that this is going to be on my TBR for the summer, and I'm already envisioning it. Like every book I've shown you so far, I'm like, this is going to be on my summer TBR. Like every book that I've been bringing into my life and like accepting from publishers lately are books that I'm genuinely so excited to read in the next few months, and that counts for every single book in the stack. I would like pick them up and be like, oh my god, the books, but they're on the floor, and I'm not trying to like tear my back up today. Did you know that between every single book I'm taking sips of this? Like the amount of little like candid shots I have of me just, it's ridiculous. This next book is really cute and really short, and it's called I Love You Some More. This is from Delacorte. Thank you so much, Delacorte, for sending me a copy. First of all, appreciation for the cover, because we are nothing if not a fan of the aesthetic. This is a YA sapphic rivals to lovers romance about two counselors who find an unexpected romance during a summer they'll never forget. This author also wrote this book right here, which I think a lot of us will recognize. I Think I Love You, which is another sapphic YA book. And this looks so cute and so fun. It's genuinely like, this is a tiny book. So I want to put this on my TBR because I think it'll be such a fun, quick little read, and I'm very excited for it. I like a summer camp setting, especially during the summer when it's all like atmospheric. So this sounds very cute. Thank you so much to Delacorte / Get Underlined for sending this to me. In the complete opposite genre, but from the same publisher, Murder Between Friends by Liz Lawson. Thank you so much, Delacorte, for sending this to me too. If you don't know, Liz Lawson has a couple books out. I've only read one, and it was like the most gut-wrenching sad book ever. I read it many, many years ago at this point, but it's still one that I think about because of how it emotionally impacted me. And ever since then, she's kind of shifted more into like mystery thriller genre, and this is either her upcoming or just came out one. I don't know if this is actually out yet, but I feel like it's probably out soon. Tagline of this book says, "Murder just moved in right next door." Grace, Henry, and Allie grew up on the same block. They used to be best friends until Grace's testimony put Henry's brother, Jake, away for murdering their English teacher. Now, 2 years later, Allie and Henry hate Grace, and Grace has begun to doubt her own memory of that night. It only gets more complicated when a mistrial is called, and Jake is suddenly released from prison. The easy peace the town has settled into has now shattered. No one wants a murderer next door, but soon enough, a new trial date is set. For Henry and Allie, this means one thing: the clock is ticking. They know this man is innocent, but they must be words. But he's sure to be found guilty again unless there's new evidence to prove that he isn't. And Grace is the missing piece. They need her on their side. Interesting. I like the concept of this. This sounds very interesting, and I already know I like this author's writing style, so I'm looking forward to reading this. And now we're shifting genres again, because I am simply a mood reader and I read a little bit of everything, if you cannot tell. These are two books by an author named Bailey Hannah. These are sent for me by Dell, and they are cowboy romances. One is Alive and Wells, and the other is Seeing Red. Let's find out what these are about. I think this one came to me first and this one second, so we're gonna read this synopsis first. It's about a city girl fleeing an abusive marriage who suddenly finds herself working on a cattle ranch with a sexy and grumpy rancher as her boss in this spicy cowboy romance from the author of Seeing Red and Change of Heart. Oh, I don't know these. Okay, this one on the back also says from the author of Alive and Wells, so I was like, oh, maybe this one came out first, but I guess they're referencing each other, they're friends. That is what this one's about, and then the other one, Seeing Red. A small-town sweetheart who finds herself unexpectedly pregnant after a one-night stand, binding her to a local cowboy who's had a crush on her for years in this spicy romance. I have thoughts. I have so many thoughts. First of all, I've been low-key in my Yeehaw era. I recently read the entire Rebel Blue Ranch series. Loved it. Yeehaw. I recently read my first Elsie Silver, and I loved it. So I've been in my cowboy romance era, and these sound very good. Okay. For this one, which is about the girl who is a girl who's fleeing an abusive marriage, this sounds phenomenal. This sounds weird. I don't know how to explain this. I like books with the characters have like trauma to overcome. Like, it makes it so much more emotional. Like, I don't love all my romances to be super heavy or super sad, but I do love a good mixture of reading my fluffy, just like pure fluff rom-coms, and then also the books where the characters are overcoming stuff. I'm always very attracted to reading about characters who have had hard backgrounds or going through hard things and then finding the joy in life after it and overcoming it. It means a lot to me, which makes me very excited about this one, which is Alive and Wells. And this one, which is the accidental pregnancy trope, and he's always liked her. I think I've read three accidental pregnancy books ever, and my feelings about them have been very, very, very varied. Very varied. You get it. And I think in a lot of them they've been very like sweet, not like spicy, so I'm kind of interested what that will be like, having this be a more like spicy one-night stand accidental pregnancy vibe, but I do think it'll be interesting. I don't hate the accidental pregnancy trope if you know it's gonna happen. Like, if I'm going into a book and I know that this book is going to have the accidental pregnancy, that's fine. I just don't like it when I go into a book and it is an accidental pregnancy that's a surprise to me. This sounds really good, and actually I'm very excited for these, especially since I've been reading a lot of cowboy romances recently. We're whiplashing back to the thriller genre of my next book, which is Murderland. This is part of Sourcebook's Midnight Reads series type thing they do, where all their mystery thrillers have midnight reads on the spine, and they're all like midnight reads titles. Every one of these that I've read has been very interesting. Even the ones that I wasn't like a massive fan of, I still thought they were very thought-provoking. And this one in particular, I thought the premise was eerily terrifying, but also very cool. It says 4 teens, 1 theme park, 2 bodies, and counting. And then we'll flip to the back. It says, Murderland opens tonight and not everyone will survive. Buckle for a thrill that have you on the edge of your seat, perfect for fans of Karen McManus and Holly Jackson, both of which I adore. It looks like they're at a creepy amusement park and someone dies mysteriously, thinking it was just natural causes, but then it actually looks like it was not natural causes, and she and her friends decide to search the theme park after hours and try to figure out what actually happened, but as the night stretches on, more people end up not alive. Interesting. This sounds very, very interesting, and it comes out in May of this year. I'm intrigued. Like I said, mystery thriller summer is the vibe, so this is on the list for sure. Thank you so much to Sourcebooks for sending this to me. I know this is gonna keep me up at night in like the worst way possible. No, in the best way possible. Oh my gosh, I meant in the best way possible, I promise. Our next book is incredibly I swear every book is like a different direction, a different genre, a different vibe, but the next one is You Make It Feel Like Christmas by Sophie Sullivan. This is an arc of a book that comes out in September. First of all, I would like to say thank you to St. Martin. I would like to say thank you to St. Martin Press for sending it to me, but also thank you to Sophie. I love Sophie. We're good friends. We chat on Instagram, and I'm in this big group chat called Friends-in-Law, and that's how I got this, is because we're friends on there. I'm excited. This is her upcoming romance. It sounds so cute. The back of it says, all bets are off when a single-minded photographer and a professional hockey player are forced to spend a week together on his sister's Christmas tree farm. I'm sorry, I'm so silly. There's literally a hockey stick on the cover, and I did not know it was a hockey romance. The big 2 romance shifts that I have personally been going through in late 2024 into 2025 has been yeehaw cowboy romances and hockey romances. Those have been like my favorites. Obviously, my favorite tropes have stayed the same, but right now I feel like that is what I'm gravitating towards a lot. So every time I see a book and it's like, yeah, this is a hockey romance, I'm like, give. And I did not realize this was a hockey romance, which is my bad. It also sounds like it's a little bit forced proximity in the Christmas tree farm setting. Precious. This comes out in September, and I probably will not be reading it until it gets a little colder outside, just since I'm in Ohio and right now it's like warm out, and I don't know, I don't feel Christmas vibes. I'm not feeling like Christmas. But I will in a few months, I promise. I'm very excited for this, so thank you, Sophie, thank you, St. Martin's. And the last book in my haul is Let's Make a Scene by Laura Wood. This is coming out in July of this year. The timing for this showing up at my door was so perfect. Atria so kindly sent me an arc of it, but they also sent me the digital copy, and I was one day away from downloading it because I was thinking how good it sounded, and then the next day this showed up at my door. And I was like, oh, when I don't have to download it on my Kindle, I can just read the physical copy. So of course, a moment for the beautiful, beautiful pink cover and pink spine. It's a companion novel. I have not read the first one, but it's a companion, so that's okay. But the first book is called Under Your Spell. It follows Theo Elliott's best friend, Cynthia Taylor, as she's pulled back into a PR relationship with the one co-star she swore she'd never work with again. Second chance romance, they're co-stars, and and I don't think they like each other. I think that's the vibe is, yes, they are rivals. They do not like each other. And I thought this sounded really good. I'm always a fan of different, like, famous people books. I always find it interesting when the characters are, like, actors or famous authors, that sort of stuff. And it sounds really good and really fun. Like I said with a lot of these are going to end up on my TBR in the next few months. You will definitely be seeing that, and this is one that I'm heavily planning on reading in May and June. So, all in all, those are all the books for today's haul. I don't know how many there were. I did not count. Like I said, the way my hauls work is when my books hit the TV, I pull them all down and we talk about them, and this way I can finally go put them away on my shelves after they've been sitting there for a few weeks. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. I hope you're doing fantastic. I try to upload every week. It's been a little rough recently because I've been sick, but hopefully I will be uploading it next week, and I will see you again next week, okay? Bye!